You are tuned in to WSPN, Women's Sports Prime Network, the home of empowerment in women's sports. Alrighty, hello and welcome. I'm Ender Van Zark and this is WSPN. Hope that you're having a great time. And it's 13:24 on this lovely afternoon. Hope that everybody is enjoying yourself a good time. And let's get ourselves started here. Don't forget to join in the chat and get yourself started with giving good commentary and insight on what's happening. Let me just share. Let me share around here the stream so that people can join in, because things are looking great for the AUSL. We are getting ourselves aware of what's good, and we don't just have to talk AUSL. We can talk anything related to softball, but at this point in time, AUSL is the way, you know. AUSL. What else do you need? What else do you want? So, happy Friday, and let's enjoy ourselves a good time. Alright, so happy Friday. Happy Friday. Let's copy and let's post. Let's share also to the post on YouTube so that people can get aware to tune in. Yes, sir. Alright, let's get started and let's get going. Here we go. Alright. Here we go. And let's have some good times. So how's everyone doing? Join in, join now to the stream. It should be all flowing as good as it should. And let's jump into the action. Let me add a photo and continue to share it around, because things are looking good. And everything is flowing. Yes, sir. And done. All right, we should be good now. We should be ready and flowing as best as we can. So welcome to the chat. You can chat down below. Let's talk the MVPs, you know, of AOSL so far. You know, I have an episode of my podcast running in right now where I discussed it in more detail. But you can get yourself connected and chat down below. Your comments will be shown on the screen as they are appearing. And we can get ourselves discussing who's your favorite player so far in the AUSL. I hope that Lawrence is one of them, because Lawrence has been showing. Hannah Flippins is another good player that has been showing great amount of skill, if you ask me, you know. And those are the players that we should be looking after, you know. The AUSL posted on X, if I might talk and discuss here a little bit. The AUSL right here. Let me get it, because they were asking who's the MVP for you at this point in time, and there's many players that we can be discussing, but the ones that were mentioned on that list was Erin Colfo, Daniela Gibson-Wharton, Hannah Flippins, Sydney McKinney, Barely Klinger, Morgan Seckler, and Amanda Lawrence, and Caroline Jacobson. Another great player, you know. But Lawrence, for me, has been showing up good time. I did a post on my X page where I actually discussed not discussed, asked who's your favorite moment, what's your favorite moment of Amanda Lawrence, what's great about Amanda Lawrence, there is good things to be told about Amanda Lawrence, and the people have been trying to pick a player, but they can just pick one player. For them it seems impossible, but I would say Lawrence has the MVP potential. um and that is just my opinion. You can discuss. You can tell me in the chat down below. What do you think? What you don't think? About each of the players that I mentioned. Um, Other people are saying McKinney is the answer, but I don't know. Even though McKinney has done great homers, she has done great plays. I don't know. I prefer more of a well-rounded player than just a player that shows up every now and then. I don't know if you think otherwise, but that's just my humble opinion. Just saying. Just saying, in my humble opinion. All right. So far, the teams that I think that are showing up, in general, I'm not talking a specific player, but teams in general that are showing up are, the Talons, the Bandits. Those are teams that actually show some potential. For my opinion and my humble opinion, I think that the Talons are like the equivalent of what we would say the New York Yankees on MLB. That's my opinion. And the Bandits are more like a Dodgers kind of equivalent. Then we have the Vaults, where the Vaults I would say they are like a Philly. Yeah, they have like this great player, like we would say in Phillies, like Harper, and but they don't show up as much as we should, as they should, because they don't have the well-rounded players. Only just one or two great, amazing players, and that's about it. You know. And then the Blaze are just like the underdogs. They're just there. I don't know. That's how I feel it. They are just there, and they could potentially be doing more stuff, but for the most part, they just exist. They're just part of the roster, just to complete the roster. That's how I see it, how I feel it. I don't know if you think otherwise, but yeah. So you can let me know your thoughts on who you think is an MVP, or worthy of an MVP, and who is showing up the skills. So let's give ourselves a well round of applause here for good stuff, good players, and good stuff. I don't know if you're okay with the style of the show. It's a radio show, and I hope that things are running as smooth as possible on your end. I'm a radio host for sure. But you guys can totally tune in and let me know your thoughts and everything that has been going through when it comes to the AUSL. All right. So don't be afraid to chat down below. You can follow me on every social media platform. Yes, sir. And you'll have always insight on my thoughts on softball in general. So let's get ourselves some headlines here. So far, we've also had the WBC, WBSC, and I'm from Puerto Rico, and I wanted to mention that Puerto Rico defeated Mexico with 10 runs. And there are good players. on the Puerto Rican side and on the Mexican side, but the Puerto Ricans just showed great skill. They did on the first inning they did 3 runs, and then on the fourth they did 3 more. Then on the fifth they did 4 more, and all that tally up to 10 with 14 hits. 14 hits. And Mexico had 1 error. Mexico had 1 single error. All right, so the scoring runs for Puerto Rico was Melendez Nayas Dallin homer to deep left field. Duke Janali Amalia scored, and Albol Borrero Alondra scores 3 RBI. Then on the top of the third, Laura Sambano Gioget Naomi triples up the middle. Vali Ibarra Jana Iralanda scored 1 RBI. On the bottom of the fourth, Duke Janaling Amelia triples to left field. Rodriguez Alicea Kanishka Mitzel scores, and Monte Sostre Generianis Nicole scored. Nieves Perez Danielis Everdeeth scored 3 RBIs. On the top of the fifth, Gonzalez Allison Shirley flies out to left field, sacrifice fly. SF7, Laura Sambano Jorgette Naomi scored, and Chavez Alcala Sofia Channel to third. 2 outs, 1 RBI. And Laura Giogret Naomi double to left field. Rodriguez Campos Tamara Mailey scored 1 RBI. And then, to top it off on the bottom of the fifth, Ortiz Isabella Hamani single to left field. Rodriguez Skylar Mia scored. Ortiz Isabella Hanami to second and throw 1 RBI. Then Melendez Naima Abella doubled to right field. Ortiz Isabella Hanamis scored 1 RBI. And then Nieves Perez Dinialis Everdeeth a single to center field. Melendez Naima Abel scored. Abella. Nieves Perez Dalianis Everdeeth to second, and EAT 1 RBI. And then Aldebols Morero Alondra Soez singles to right center. Nieves Perez Danielis Everdeeth scored, and Duke Janaling Amelia to third, 1 RBI. And those were the scoring plays of the game. It was quite intense. 10 runs. That is just crazy. Crazy to say the least, you know. Crazy. So now moving on to different topics, let's get ourselves some headlines from softball. Let's get ourselves connected here with some stuff, you know. All right. So there is a news to be told right now with extra innings and stuff like that. So let's see what's happening on the realms of the softball. Sorry if I sound a little effy, if I sound a little stuffy and stuff like that. It's just that I came out from influenza, and I'm already recovered, but I'm still stuffy. So if I sound a little off, I apologize in advance. But let's get ourselves aware of what's good and what's happening right about now. So let's get ourselves aware. Don't be afraid to chat down below if you're in the chat. So here we go. on the Diamond Elite Nationals travel players for week 6, 27 to 25. All right. This was written by Extra Innings softball staff. So, Davey Diamond League pitcher. Molly Davey, a 2027 pitcher from Hilo High School in Hawaii, delivered an unforgettable weekend that cemented her status as one of the premier arms in her class, leading Mojo Lewis to an undefeated championship at the PGF's Super Grand Tournament. Molly showcased unmatched stamina, precision, and dominance on the mound, proving why she's a force to be reckoned with. Her ability to control tempo, attack hitters, and deliver under pressure makes her more than a top prospect. She's a game changer with big stage presence and next level durability. It was a weekend that showcased not just her skill set, but her toughness, leadership, and undeniable rise as one of softball's elite young pitchers. So extra inning softball, there you have it. That is great to see high schoolers getting into the side of the MVPs and great players to be checking out, And I hope that these high school players um, that are gonna graduate on 2027 and stuff like that, I'd love to see them continue in college and potentially go either Olympic or professional. That's great. I love to see new players joining in and having more time to play softball. Softball is a great sport. The closest I did when I was a little kid, I played baseball, and that was pretty fun if you ask me. I didn't last long in my life. I ventured through the music route eventually, but as a journalist, I have found the love for softball, and I studied communication, and here I am discussing softball. So if you're in the chat, don't be afraid to tell me your favorite your favorite softball moments, your favorite softball players. Are you a softball player yourself? Share it around with people that might enjoy some softball content. Help me grow the subscriber count. I want this community to thrive. I want to showcase more people what softball is all about. And this is a radio show all about softball. This is what's up. This is what's good. So if you're in the chat, make sure to chat down below and let's get the discussion running. Let's get things running, There are good stuff happening right now in the world of softball. That investment from the MLB is just incredible. Imagine if the AUSL gets as big as the MLB. Wouldn't that be amazing? It was about time that softball had its spotlight more than just college. And let me tell you why. For as long as we can know, baseball has been the America's pastime, as they like to call it, And the thing is that most women, once they finish their college years, they have to just choose whether to try and have a future in softball or have a more steady, stable income on a regular, average Joe job. Males don't have to do that. Males can go straight to any professional league or minor league and anywhere around the world, either Korea, Japan, and the MLB, the minor leagues in baseball. They have so many options that are stable, that are good, that are nice for them to continue their passion for the sport. But for women, they have to always go back and forth and choose. I was reading from the Rising Sun newspaper, something like that's called. It's a baseball newsletter, and he was discussing something like that. And it's devastating that has been a thing for so long. Now, this year with the AUSL, and then next year with the professional women's professional baseball league, we're going to see more women being thrown there as professionals, as professional athletes. And that should have been a case a long, long, long time ago. It's been 70 years since women are able to be professionals in the diamond. It's been 70 years. 70 years. You know how long that has been? The last time we saw women on the diamond playing professionally was back in World War II, when the males were at war and the females had to come in to give America some more of its pastime, you know? And that is quite a sad thing. But we are living in better times now. We're living in happier times where women can actually thrive as pro athletes within the diamond. Sure, you can discuss to me and you can tell me that there has been other leagues that are not funded, like the Fast Pitch United or any of those other leagues that showcase women out there professionally, but nothing compares to the investment that the MLB is doing. The MLB has put it on the spotlight. ESPN is broadcasting it. Sometimes ABC broadcasts some softball sports leagues. Not exactly USL, but any sport, any league of softball. Then we have the MLB Network or MLB TV. You know, they're showing us more softball. And you might be asking yourself, why did the MLB went for softball instead of the Women's Pro Baseball League? Well, one, the commissioner for the Marlins was a softball player, and she was highly interested. Plus, we've seen humongous but amazing attendance on softball stadiums. So, better time to reach out for the softball than to reach out for, you know, pro baseball, which sadly, the pro baseball isn't until next year. And I'm pretty sure the MLB was like, we need something for now, something that's thriving now, not later. They're thinking of, you know, securing something and prolonging it instead of keeping the anticipation till next year. It'll ruin the momentum that most of these women's sports are having right now. Since the Super Bowl, I've been seeing a lot of, you know, hype about women's sports in general, you know? And even though this is a softball centric show, I've actually discussed other sports where women are the spotlight before, like basketball, like volleyball, um, whatchamacallit, soccer. There are different sports that I've actually delved into, but you know, right now softball is where it's at. So my point is, you've seen the rise that there has been with, you know, sports with women in general, you know, hence why my show is called Women's Sports Prime Network. You know, I'm trying to build this ESPN-esque radio-like thing where it's like ESPN radio, but instead it's all focused on women exclusively. We won't be discussing any male stuff unless the male stuff connects to the female side. So this is what's been running, what's been going on, and you know, why not give women the spotlight they deserve now? So let me know down below, what has been your favorite moment with women's sports in general, since the inauguration of those commercials that we saw on the NFL Super Bowl. Since we've been seeing more Caitlin Clark on ads, since we've been seeing more softball, you know, what has been your favorite moment, and what is that pinpoint in time where you think, hey, women are just as good as men? and they're getting the recognition they deserve now. I think 2025 is the year of the women, you know, and what better place to be than to be here, witnessing all these advancements and all this good stuff for women. There ain't nowhere else to be than to be in WSPN, Women's Sports Prime Network, you know? So I hope that we continue to showcase more women out there, and we need to get the show must go on. That's what I'm trying to say. So yeah, Caitlin Clark is one of those players that actually got me really into women's sports. So I have to give kudos to that. Even though I prefer to watch softball, it's much more engaging for me. And the community is less aggressive, if I might say so myself. So I gotta give thanks to seeing Caitlin Clark for the first time on TV and being like, wow, that is amazing. And who are we to judge and say that women shouldn't be on the professional side of sports, you know? Just saying. So for those of you joining in right now, don't be afraid to chat down below and tell me who's your favorite softball player right now. It doesn't have to be necessarily from the AUSL. It could be from any place. From any league, and you can let me know why you like that player. And if I don't know the player, that's okay. We're here to learn. We're here to grow. We're here to just put those players in the spotlight, for sure. But the Talons are like one of my favorite teams from the AUSL. Second being the Bandits. And then third being the Volts, and then last the Blaze. Even though the Blaze has great players, and recently we had a trade, that doesn't mean that I'm gonna bump the Blazes on the list. No sir, no sirree. The Blazes are just there. They are just there. Unfortunately. So anyways, hope that everybody has been having a great Friday. I can't wait for the AUSL to come back on July 7th, and we're heading ourselves into good times. But to moving on to more other topics here, on the MLB.com/AUSL, they wrote something about the AUSL. So here we go. Let's explain the hiatus. So the Athletes Unlimited Softball League launched on June 7th with the backing of the Major League Baseball. This 4-team foray into pro softball has made an instant impression on fans. However, as has been scheduled from the beginning, the USL is on a 2-week hiatus that runs from June 24th to July 6th, before play resumes with a doubleheader on Monday, July 7th in Rosemont Hill. So, here's an explainer as to why the AUSL is on a brief break so soon after it started. So why did the AUSL go on a temporary hiatus? The answer is rooted in international competition. When the AUSL schedule was being put together, the league's organizer had to account for Teams USA's 10 scheduled participants in the 2025 WBSC, America's Women's Pan American Championship, a qualifier for the WBSC, Women's Softball World Cup 2026 and 2027. However, in the time since the AUSL schedule was finalized, Team USA received an automatic bid. So, what will happen during this AUSL downtime, if you're wondering and asking yourself? The 2-week hiatus is being utilized for various AUSL players to participate in the U.S. Women's National Team Camp and Showcase, which takes place in Oklahoma City. At this event, Team USA faces top collegiate and professional athletes in a doubleheader, which AUSL player will participate if you're asking yourself, because if the AUSL had to go in a hiatus because some of the players are participating, who are those players that are participating? So the 20 AUSL players taking part in the showcase include Bandits infielder Erin Koffel and Skylar Wallace, pitcher Emily Kennedy, and Lexi Kilfoyle, outfielder Bubba Nichols Camara, and utility player Corey McMillian. Then Talons infielder Bree Ellis and Megan Flippins, pitcher Megan Faraimo, outfielder Stira Sacco, and utility players Savannah Jacquish. Volts pitcher Raquel Garcia. Oh, Rachel Garcia is actually playing there. Oh, nice. The outfielder Amanda Lawrence, catcher Dea Mulipola, and infielder Tyra Jennings and Jesse Warren. From the Blaze, infielder Daniel Gibson Warthen, Bailey Klinger, and Aubrey Leach, and utility player Kayla Kowalik. So additionally, a Blaze outfielder Alaya Andrews and Towns utility player Maya Bernays were invited to take part but will not be participating. Ratty, the niece of NFL legend Tom Brady, and by marriage 3 times Red Sox All-Star Kevin Youkilis, has yet to appear in an AUSL game this season because of an injury, but could return in the second half of the season. So what have we learned in the AUSL so far? The Bandits and Towns came roaring out the gates with 9-3 record, and the Towns hit the hiatus on a hot streak with 4 straight wins, but the Bandits have asserted themselves with a league best plus 33 runs differential so far. It's a different story for the 4-8 Vaults and the 210 Blaze, both of whom will have their work cut out for them if they are going to be one of the 2 teams to advance to the best of 3 AUSL Championship at Rhodes Stadium in Tuscaloosa, Ella. So on July 26 to 28, but with the Vaults facing the Bandits and the Blaze facing the Towns when play resumes on July 7th, there will be an opportunity to make up ground right away. Kofeld leads the AUSL with a 1.841 OPS, while Bandits outfielder Morgan Seckler has a league best 5 homers. Klinger has a league best of .500 average, though 32 at-bats. On the pitching side, Kilfoyle's 2.66 ERA in a 23-2/3 innings has helped put the Bandits in a playoff position, while Garcia has been the AUSL's workhorse with a 3.17 ERA and a 31 strikeout in a league-high 35 1/3 inning. So what's on tap when the AUSL resumes? So the July 7th resumption in Rosemont will feature Bandits versus Volts at 7 p.m. ET on ESPN2 and Blaze versus Talons at 9:30 p.m. on MLB TV, MLB.tv, and MLB.com at the MLB app. Did you like this story? Did you like all the updates? Are you more aware of what the hiatus encompasses? This is how you know. Now you know all the details and things to be aware of from the hiatus and how the players have been performing so far, you know. So that is something to be aware of, and something that makes things a bit more clear now that we understand why the hiatus is a thing, you know. So now you're more aware of things, you know, and things have been looking a little interesting for the AUSL so far. Um, I think that there's gonna be great plays when we get back, and things might get a little hectic at this point in time. What are you expecting for the return of the AUSL? What are you expecting? Are you expecting the games to resume as they are, or do you think that things are gonna look a little more intense as things go forward? I don't know. I think things are gonna get more into the side of there's gonna be more tension. There's gonna be more players trying to reach for that championship and get better points and get things running as best as they can. At least that's how I see it. At least that's how I feel that it's going and it's flowing. I wouldn't see it any other way. So we still need to see the news of the NFL legend Tom Brady and related by marriage to three-time Red Sox All-Star Kevin Youkilis, Maya Brady. We still have to see her play, and we might see her play when we get back, and that's gonna be interesting to say the least. But anyways, thank you all for listening. Thank you all for being here. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm Andrew Van Zark, and as always, let's swing it out the fence and continue showcasing more women in sports with some awesome softball. Bye. You are tuned in to WSPN Women's Sports Prime Network, the home of empowerment in women's sports.